We are here at the truly spectacular Four Seasons Astir Palace in Athens, Greece. We're here shooting a couple of films. One is a proof of concept based around sort of fashion photography, and the second one is about this property itself. I actually was involved in doing an event here in, I think, either 2011 or 2012, when it was also already famously the Astir Palace, and it was a great experience. The hotel itself comes with a great sense of history and a great sense of heritage, and we had blocked out the entire hotel. So even though it was January, the whole thing was exceptionally positive. Client was super happy, and I always remember it very fondly. So when I heard that the Four Seasons was taking over the property and going to be renovating it, and to that extent, I think I've spent between 250 and 300 million on that renovation, my expectations were exceptionally high. So we wanted to come and see what that was like. And over the last couple of days, we've been shooting a film about that very thing. We've been lucky enough to spend about 20 minutes, half an hour with the general manager here, a really nice guy called Sam. And we were going to take that interview, chop up some parts, and we probably still will, and put them in the main film. But he was so engaging, so genuine, and just every now and then you meet one of those people where you think, I definitely feel like this part of my life has been improved by meeting this individual. This is a truly inspirational person, and you really gravitate towards them. That is this dude. Impeccably dressed, really funny, self-effacing, genuine, and the kind of person, if you were going to spend 300 million, this is the kind of person you'd give the checkbook to. Obviously he didn't do it on his own, and he was very clear about that, but we loved him so much that we just wanted to play out the whole of the interview in one go. And so we're going to do just that.
Well, my name is Sam Ioannidis, and I'm the general manager, the very proud general manager of the Four Seasons Astir Palace, Athens. Originally Greek, was raised just south of here in Argos, and immigrated to Canada, started my career with Four Seasons 27 years ago, and I've done a full circle to come back to my homeland. So quite proud and humbled to be part of such a special hotel and in such a special place. It's a great question. I had just finished opening up our property in Abu Dhabi. So coming off of another spectacular project, and we have always wanted to be in Greece. The company's been looking for a great partner with a tremendous location. And as I was finishing off the project, we just started operating Abu Dhabi, and the project came online. It wasn't a big surprise that Astir was announced, but it was, I had both hands and both feet up in the air. Please pick me. I would love to be part of this project. Again, coming back to my homeland, being one, but also to be part of something that's so legendary. This hotel has such a long, beautiful past, and being able in my career to be able to be part of something of that was quite important. So again, very humbled to be part of it. Well, the project is being developed by AGC, who have a big vision. So we should give a lot of credit to them for taking on such a monumental project to help, Greece as a platform, and what they've done within the local community to help support Greece economically. But the process is quite long. And every project is quite different as we open them. And when I landed in Athens, this was basically down to concrete. So concrete floors, walls, ceilings. And the development stage had already taken place, but now was the working with the contractors and architects and so forth to ensure that the final product is what the owner has paid for, and which is part of our support mechanism to make sure it happens. So it's quite a large task. We have 3 different products here, so it's not as you're building one specific hotel, and in some cases, which are always complex irregardless, but we have a bungalow product. There are 61 bungalows that were built in the early 60s that have made this destination quite famous. They required a different approach to the development and the refinement of that product to bring it forward on a technology perspective and what guests want today, but still keeping the natural charm of what the bungalows were always known for. And that's the place where Onassis and Brigitte Bardot and the Beatles came to enjoy. Our last guest, or the last guest of the property, was Barack Obama. So they have quite a historical past which needed to be kept. So the developers and the architects did a great job to enhance without taking away. Arion, which is the next building over, which is just a few-minute walk, is the more sophisticated version of the building. So that again required a different approach to the look, the feel, and how we enveloped that to become the living room of Athens with that sophisticated approach. And a few minutes of walking takes you to Nafsica, where we're situated today. And this is the beau chic feel of the property. We have the pool, we have great water views, as all of the rooms in the entire resort have. But here again, a different approach to the build and a different feel. So we wanted to be extremely focused on each of the different feels, allowing our guests to have 3 different experiences and pick and choose between the 2 and within the walking distance. And they all have great amenities and features that will, that the guests will appreciate when they come, and choose different places that they want to stay from one to the other, or experience restaurants in Arion and the spa in Arion versus the pool experience and the beachside experiences of the bungalows, and as well Nafsica. It is, and there was, we're blessed to be part of the owner who valued that greatly, as he had a vision from being here in the past to retain that. 4 seasons everywhere we travel through the globe to open properties or to be part of properties. We want to be part of the community. So from a design perspective, and what we draw from the roots of the destination is really, really important. And travelers today expect that. They don't expect to travel from a property that is sitting in Greece that looks exactly like a property that's sitting in a city, somewhere else. So we have to draw from the architecture, we have to draw from history. And we have many, many examples that we've done architecturally. There was a tremendous respect to the previous architecture. The exterior parts of the buildings were kept in place because of that. The preservation of the forest around us were kept that. So anything that was extremely positive, we wanted to impress, we wanted to bring forward, we wanted to make it important and a historical relevant fact. So we have photos of the old days in all of our guest rooms. The uniforms of our housekeeping staff was a photo I found in an old magazine, an old book of the opening of the bungalow. So it was a refit of that. So we go into those small details to bring it. And we bring it forward to the new designer and developers and architects that would help us to bring some of this historical elements forward. Working with K Studios, a local designer that did 2 of our restaurants, for example. The uniform design was Sofia Kokosalaki. So working with locals to help to, bridge the gap of old, bring in something new, and what today's guests want. Guests today are looking for an experience. They're looking for a sense of place. And truly here we have a tremendous opportunity to do both, because we're surrounded with so much archaeology, which we've preserved on the property, and to all of what Greece on a food and beverage perspective has to offer that is impeccable, and to top it off with what we call the Greek philotimo, which is the service. What Greeks are really known for around the world, our fun-loving, beautiful spirit. Philotimo is a word that can't be translated, but we've been able to find a team that will be able to exemplify that to our world-class guests traveling from around the world, and as well the locals who, will really appreciate that. Absolutely. Again, you have to be humbled by being part of something so special, to have something that the entire country has loved and adored since 1961, and to be part of something like that, to bring it forward, has been humbling. I'm blessed to be surrounded by great owners and a 4 Seasons team of specialists to support us along the way. So some of that pressure is supported, But yes, when you're part of something so special, you want it to be as close to perfect as possible. People's expectations are huge coming to any Four Seasons globally. Anyways, expectations are risen because of our brand and expectations of service and product. And when you add the legendary piece, yes, and being Greek and being surrounded by family, has certainly done that. But I'm very lucky to be surrounded by a great team of people here, and again with our corporate offices and owners who all have the same vision to create a world-class destination and make this place as special as it can be. So we're on a good path on that journey already. Yeah, I think I can go on a long list of those things. I am a strong believer as a leader, empowering people, supporting visions are really, really important so that our team takes an ownership to any little project that they do. So we, and I can give you small examples from each area with our spa, where we took local herbs that are indigenous to Greece, and we sent them to be made into the oils for our base treatments. We found juniper berries growing around because we're in a preserved forest, and we sent those along with other local herbs to distill our own gin. Greeks love gin, it's part of our palate, but also world travelers, gin is the thing. And so we've made, very bespoke products. The scent of the hotels was made again from the herbs and the fruit peels locally here, right off of Vouliagmeni, right off what is indigenous to here. So there's many, many examples, but more importantly, it's the authenticity of service. This is something that is a different formula of where we're here to provide, again, Greek philotomo and service, but certainly coming from the heart. There's no script words that we tell our staff, say this and do that. We want them to be proud of where they come from. We have, Greece is quite a sizable country. Although our diversity is not made up of many cultures, it is made up of different cities, villages, towns, islands, and each of those little cities, towns, villages, and islands has a specialty. And we implore our staff to talk about that to our guests so that guests may visit those areas and be proud of the country they're in, again, supporting the destination. Again, it's drawing from the roots of people and the pride that they have in the jobs that they do, where they're from, and what they can bring and discuss. And when, everybody feels a lot of pride when they speak to somebody about where they come from and some of their origins. So we really promote that, discuss with our guests who are, traveling the world. I come from Kalamata, and we have some of the best olive oils and olives in all of Greece, and somebody that comes from Crete that have some of the best, avocados, etc. So we promote our staff to do that, and it's a very talented group of people that are striving to offer the best that they can at every level. So we talk about the service, but we also have the same level of empowerment and drive in areas that you might not consider, such as finance. They're a big part of our success. IT are one of the reasons we operate. And we had a story last night of a guest that had an issue in connecting with his device, and one of our gentlemen drove from his house on the overnight to come over to give him a hand, and had some simple fix-it solutions, fixed it right away at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then ended up speaking with him for another hour about different places to go. And he's from Trichala, which he's very proud of their pita. So we wake up to stories like that. Those aren't things that you can train. So those talk about, connecting with the guest's sense of place, craftsmanship, again, leaving our bartenders and our chefs to create ingredients and items that the guests will appreciate, more than us just creating and allowing people just to do what we want. You have to empower, you have to open the door, you have to entrust, and then the stories come. And then when that comes, you have to fuel that fire. You have to embrace embrace it and recognize it, and show the rest of the team to build confidence by recognizing, what that individual did last night and how special it was. Because it's the small things that make a difference. We don't have to jump through hoops. It's very small touches that people remember. And this is, again, what the traveler expects today, is having an experience. We all know we have to have beautiful hotels, beautiful buildings, the latest in technology. That's a given. And everybody's building beautiful hotels. But the charm needs to be, and the secret needs to be, through the service and the people and the connection and the craftsmanship that's there. And we strive to promote that. A very interesting question. We look at, we always say that we're still new, but we open the door, and we value the fact that we provide 4 seasons service from the day that we open the door. It's delightful to listen to so many guests coming and be shocked and surprised that, did you really just open because you feel like you're operating? I think this talks about the maturity of the team, and it talks about the planning that we did and the support from all of our stakeholders. To be where we are today. But certainly we always strive to be the best. We always strive to be as best we can. With our team, I start these questions and these very similar comments about try to be the best person you can be first. If you are a good person and you speak from the heart with your own authenticity, what you suggest and would like your teams to approach is that same level of authenticity. I believe in that tremendously. So in saying that, if moving forward, if we were to fast forward where we are in several months, is a tremendous level of confidence from our team. The successes that they all came here for. I interviewed everybody, and they want to excel. They want to have growth. They want to see opportunity. They want to learn. So those are some of my higher end thought processes. With that responsibility, how do I make sure that those dreams and goals happen? Because we're not providing just a job. There's an opportunity here for people, and they will have a family, they will have careers. It's an impactful on their life. It's not just in a position. So when we see people getting together and, perhaps, or they've had a baby, we're part of that. We're part of that family. And to see that grow is important. We really want to be part of the community, and the success of Greece's, evolution out of the economic crisis that it's been. So we believe with all of the guests coming that are new to Greece and have never been here and coming because it's our 4 seasons, and locals that have embraced us back as the living room of Athens, the trickle-down effect economically is going to be, quite large. And we're looking forward to that. We've already had some great successes with local, vendors and the dry cleaning shop and the local pharmacy and the supermarket that have seen some of that an immediate trickle-down effect to our local community and restaurants and so forth. All of these added guests have been supporting the archaeological sites, but as well the small tavernas. So we see economically that's going to be another focus for us. But we really want to be seen. We want to have a spotlight on Greece that really showcases what Greece has already done as a great destination, and we really want to help that destination be a world-class destination.
Brilliant. That was really, really good. It was so good that what I'm going to do is... See? I told you he was cool. Our Secret Lab is a laboratory for kind of all events management. So if you had a kick-off meeting or you wanted to do an incentive trip, we'd love to do it for you, and we'd love to do it at the Astir Palace. But even if you have another agency and you want to use them, our Secret Lab would heartily recommend Sam's fantastic 4 Seasons Astir Palace. Is just an absolutely stunning location, no matter what your event.